Let's talk some Niners here on a Friday night. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Hope all of you are getting ready to have a fantastic weekend. Coming up on today's show, a lot of Niners injury news that I want to get into and some key matchups to look out for as the Niners play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a big NFC matchup on Sunday in Tampa. Going to be live for that game right here on the 49ers Report. You see the show right here. You see the branding. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us for our watch party, but also I'm giving you Niners coverage every single day year-round, and anytime I'm in front of a camera, on a microphone, I want this Niners content to be insightful, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking. I want you to have a voice. Those are the pillars and the foundational elements of this show, so if all that sounds great, join the movement, lock us in, and subscribe today. All right, the Niners injury report has been released just a little while ago. These following players going to be out: Brock Purdy, turf toe; Ricky Pearsall, not going to play once again, missing his second consecutive game with that knee injury. Robert Beal is out because of an ankle, a blown opportunity for him. The Niners elevated him to the 53 from the practice squad after they brought him back to the practice squad after the Nick Bosa injury, and he finally had an opportunity to maybe prove that he has a standing in this league. But then his first game, after the absence of Nick Bosa, he goes out with that ankle and he's missed the last couple of games. Yetur Gross-Matos going to be out with the hamstring. No surprises there. Kyle Shanahan said that he was going to miss some time. Obviously, all throughout camp, preseason, into the regular season, he wasn't practicing due to a knee injury. And so the Niners' depth at defensive end has taken a little bit of a hit there as well. Jordan Watkins, calf. I'm not sure why San Francisco just hasn't put him on injured reserve. He had the ankle injury in the preseason, wasn't available for the start of the year, came back, injured his calf, and at this point, just put him on injured reserve. He's occupying a valuable roster spot. Kevin Givens, not going to play in this game because of a pec, but the Niners did open up his practice window, and that's some valuable depth at the defensive tackle spot for San Francisco. Again, not just defensive end is where they're thin as far as depth goes. All along the defensive line, that collective unit has gotten hit with some injuries impacting the depth. And so Givens will be able to help. He's a solid pass rushing defensive tackle when he's able to stay healthy. These players questionable going up against Tampa Bay. Mac Jones listed with an oblique and knee injury. He's had that bulky knee brace on for the last couple of weeks. Jauan Jennings, ribs, ankle. Alfred Collins, knee. Upton Stout, ankle. Kalia Davis, hand. Malik Mustapha, knee. Now, Mac Jones today, after he did not throw on Thursday, did do some light throwing. And anytime you're a quarterback dealing with an injury to your core, your oblique, your middle half, obviously it's a concern because of the torque that you have to put on your body to throw the football. And so Mac had said after yesterday, kind of managing the oblique injury, and it's not really worth worsening because obviously the Niners knew they were going to be without Brock Purdy, and so that's why he didn't really throw or do much all week. Good to see him on the practice field today throwing. All signs point to him getting his fourth start on Sunday against the Buccaneers, and Mac has gone 3-0. He's averaging more than 300 yards passing per game. He has run Kyle Shanahan's system and scheme beautifully, and he's come through with some really clutch wins and performances. I mean, big boy football against the Saints, game-winning drive against the Cardinals, and then the massive upset as 8.5-point underdogs against the Los Angeles Rams. So Adrian Martinez once again going to serve as the backup quarterback. He'll start if Mac Jones has a setback. Let's hope that doesn't happen because that would wash away the Niners' chances of winning the ball game. Jauan Jennings, it's going to come down to the wire. He's been so injured, but obviously they're listing him with the ribs and ankle injuries. And what else was of note here? Oh, Alfred Collins did return to practice on Thursday, had that knee sprain that he suffered against the Rams. What a game-saving, massive play with the peanut punch on Kyren Williams, using that 7-foot wingspan to come through with the punch and dislodge that football after it looked as though Kyren Williams was going to score that touchdown. And so a good sign that he returned to practice on Wednesday. Things are trending in a good direction there. The Niners released a video from practice on Friday, and it included Upton Stout. And so I imagine him and Chase Lucas going to switch back and forth with some slot reps there. Kalia Davis had that hand surgery. Pretty quick recovery. If he doesn't play in this game, wouldn't be surprised, but he's been on the practice field with that club. And if the Niners do activate Malik Mustapha as they open up his practice window this week, they're going to have to make a corresponding roster move to let somebody go off of the 53-man roster, and that would be a big addition for this Niners defense, just another weapon that Robert Saleh can use to his advantage. As for some Buccaneers injury news, the Niners are a banged-up ball club. The Buccaneers are a banged-up ball club, and this has really been the case for them all season long. You know, going into the year, Tristan Wirfs had a procedure on his knee, and then they lost 2 other starting offensive linemen early on in the year. Wirfs has since come back, but that offensive line has struggled a little bit to protect Baker Mayfield, who's also been banged up with a biceps and I believe a knee injury. But wide receiver Mike Evans going to be out for this game. He injured his hamstring against the Jets in, week 3. And that's expected to be a multi-week injury, probably nearing a return at some point. Wide receiver Chris Godwin, who just came back against the Philadelphia Eagles in week 4, and prior to his ugly injury last year, was balling out. He's once again out with a fibula injury. Running back Bucky Irving not going to play. Cornerback Zyon McCollum and cornerback Benjamin Morrison also out. So some marquee players for Tampa Bay not going to be able to suit up in this game. As for some big matchups to watch on Sunday, I have a few of them here. Bryce Huff going up against Charlie Heck. Now, I've talked about this on the show the last couple of weeks, but obviously without Nick Bosa, surprise, surprise, the Niners' pass rush has really struggled, and they haven't been able to get after the quarterback. They have 1 sack and 1 quarterback hit in the last 2 games. And I had said after the Bosa injury, some people were saying, Bryce Huff, he's been playing great. He can continue to play great. It's different when you're Robin compared to when you're Batman, and when you're getting those double teams compared to when you're not getting those double teams. And so Huff did have a sack against the Rams, first drive of the game, but after that, Matthew Stafford was kind of sitting pretty in the pocket. But with his bend, with his fast get-off, he's going to be lining up against the Buccaneers offensive tackle in Charlie Heck, former Niners legend. I say that tongue-in-cheek. And Heck has been one of the worst offensive tackles in football. Overall PFF grade, 35.7. That ranks 108th among 112 tackles. Pass blocking grade, 37.1, 97th. Run blocking grade, 36.2, ranks 110th. He has given up 22 pressures. That is last among all offensive tackles. He's also surrendered 2 sacks. And so if there's an opportunity for the Niners to generate pressure on Baker Mayfield, he's also really good at creating plays out of structure, using his feet to either run or extend plays. It's that matchup, Bryce Huff against Charlie Heck. Another big one for a struggling Niners offensive line and a struggling player is right guard Dominick Puni going up against defensive tackle Vita Vea, who is a load, hanging out around 340, 350 pounds. And Puni was excellent as a rookie. He has not been as good the first 5 games of the year. It's been an unfortunate regression for him, sophomore slump, whatever you want to call it. Remember, he had that knee injury in that second preseason game against the Raiders as well. But this is going to be a really hard matchup for Dominick Puni. And this Buccaneers rushing defense, one of the best units in the NFL at stopping the run. This Niners offense has been one of the worst teams in trying to run the ball. And so Vita Vea can blow plays up, and he's going to have an opportunity to do that against Dominick Puni. Big matchup coming up for Puni, and it's such a difficult assignment because of Vita's pure strength, how big he is, how quick he is at that size, and how violent he plays. How about tight end Jake Tonges? I tweeted this out last week, but good for Jake Tonges. He has really turned himself into a very solid backup tight end. And without George Kittle, the Niners have had some pretty solid production from Tonges. He did not have a reception in his first 20 NFL games heading into this year. He has 19 catches for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns already. Pretty impressive. Coming off a career best 7 catches in that stunning upset victory over the Rams in Week 4. And Mac Jones has had a good connection with him, a good connection with Kendrick Bourne. I think that stems from Mac's experience in getting a run with the backups with Tonges throughout training camp, and then with Kendrick Bourne, they had that connection from their Patriots days. And Tonges has also come through in some really big spots in some key moments. How about safety Malik Mustapha? If he's activated, Niners going to have to make a roster move, as I said, but this is another chess piece for Robert Saleh. And obviously, he has to get creative with how to generate pressure on the opposing quarterback. And Malik Mustapha can get after the quarterback a little bit on some safety blitzes, but he can impact the game through the air and on the ground. A thumper, a bowling ball, he'll run into a cement wall, and he'll put a dent into it, as I like to say. Running back Christian McCaffrey as a pass catcher. Again, Buccaneers do such a good job of stopping the run. They also have one of the highest blitz rates in the NFL under Todd Bowles. How do you negate and slow down the blitz? Get rid of the ball quickly. Who's a player who you can get rid of the ball quickly to? Christian McCaffrey. Whether it's out of the backfield or, as we've seen this year, as a slot wide receiver. He's got such excellent footwork and route running ability that it allows him to be such a factor as a receiver, and he's top 15 in receiving yards this season among all players as a running back. And then lastly, cornerback Deommodore Lenoir against Emeka Egbuka. Buccaneers shorthanded at wideout. No Mike Evans. No Chris Godwin. Emeka, first-round pick out of Ohio State, has had a really good rookie year. He's a growing star and a blossoming star for this Buccaneers offense, and he's really slippery, really good route running. Because of injuries to Evans and Godwin, he's played more on the outside, and Quinyon Mitchell shut him down a couple of weeks ago. But outside of that, he's had some really good games. Last week against Seattle, I mean, he was causing a lot of problems. Lenoir's been pretty good this year. He was penalized a couple of times against the Los Angeles Rams, but that's a really good matchup. The feisty Lenoir against the rising Emeka Egbuka. So just wanted to hop on the camera here on this Friday night, pass along some Niners injury news and some matchups to watch. Appreciate everybody for rocking and rolling with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Videos to come all throughout the weekend. Live for a Niners Buccaneers watch party on Sunday right here on the show. If you're looking for supplements, First Form, check them out. Fantastic. I'm a brand ambassador for them because a lot of you know, obviously, I care a lot about health, wellness, nutrition, training a lot right now for a High Rocks competition. If you're interested in my First Form link, type me down in the comments section, and I'll shoot you that link for the best supplements in the game. All right, enjoy your Fridays, enjoy your weekends. I'll catch you soon. This is the 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. See ya.